Vedanta Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatari Om Magyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militang Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Svapitam Yena Bhutale Swayamarupa Kadama Yandadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavancha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagat Pate Gopesha Gopika Kantarada Kantana Mostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhya Vaishnavebhya Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vayantuna Vitripyama Uttama Shloka Vikrame Yachrimvatam Rasagyanam Svadu Svadu Pade Pade. So, thank you for coming. And we are going to today. We have several questions today. Actually, we have only 4. One is a question by Lavanga Mataji. So I don't know if to answer it here or waiting sometime that she will be able to come. Then I was asked some time ago to talk about the Upadhi. What is the Upadhi? Then the story of Buddha, not the Buddha we know, the Buddha Vishnu Avatara. We know the Buddha is an avatar of Vishnu that appeared about 3,000 years ago before the Buddha we know. And then we have one question about Sadhusanga, my spiritual master, and Sadhusanga. So the question is the relationship within a spiritual master, disciple, etc., etc. We are going to talk about that. So let's start. So what do you say? Are we going to answer to Lavanga, although she's not here, or what?
I think we should wait because maybe she'll join late and it would make more sense to answer if she was here, so she could ask a follow-up question or.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. So let's go to the Upadhi. What is an Upadhi? So first of all, in Sanskrit, the word Upa means something over or something near. A dha means possessing. So this word, although not very much known, unless the devotee is a scholar, but it's an important word, and I want you to listen to the explanation because it's very philosophically important. To explain what an Upadhi means, let's do some example. For instance, Srila Prabhupada in the Chaitanya Charitamrita says, just like if we take a bath, we come out with some water attached to our bodies. Or if we roll on the ground, some dirt will remain on us. Water and dirt are not part of our bodies, they are upadhis. To get rid of water, we rinse and get rid of dirt, we dust ourselves. Krishna consciousness teaches us how to get free from all upadhis. Sarvopadi, vinirmuktam, a very important verse. This whole explanation by Srila Prabhupada, it is in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, 1907. But I want to give some other explanation of what is an upadhi that is limiting attribute. Let's make one example. Easier than this is no problem. We walk on the street and we see a dog. And the dog likes the she dog. How you say? The bitch in English?
Yes.
Yeah, a male dog likes the she dog. Okay? We don't like the she gods, the she dog. We like girls. So why the dog does not look to girls and we don't look to the she dog? Why? Because our upadhi is organized in such a way that we are attracted to certain form and not to others. The attraction is not in the form itself, because otherwise everybody would be similarly attracted to the she dog or to the girl or whatever. But only men, only some type of men are attracted to women, and only dog are attracted to the she dog. Because the value of attraction, it is superimposed, overimposed by us. This is how Maya works. Maya puts for men a certain type of covering. This is called upadhi, the covering, and we interpret this body as very attractive. This is called Maya. Why Maya? Because there is no attraction. It is in our mind. It's not in the form itself, because otherwise everybody will be attracted, equally attracted. If something is attractive, it is attractive for everybody. If it's not attractive for everybody, means that the attraction comes from us. It's a projection of our mind. So, in our philosophy, this is called upadhi. Upadhi is something that is overimposed on something. Okay? Something Srila Prabhupada says in some other place that attaches to us is actually alien to us. It's a value that is being given to us. It's not ours. Okay, so this is the meaning of upadhi, and it's a word that we find in many philosophical books, and we should understand what actually means, because if we understand how it means, then we can better control our mind. We can control our attractions to the material world. Because philosophically, we understand that the thing itself is not attractive. This is yoga. Yoga means controlling the mind. And what it means controlling the mind, we understand. We make a mental effort to think. This thing, I feel attracted, but actually this is not attractive. This is an upadhi. It's something that is imposed on us. So is that, I think I could speak much more on, but I think the basic concept has been explained. Does anyone has any question on the Upadhi? Yamuna?
Yes, Gurudev, Hare Krishna.
Hare-
I would just like to know if emotions would be considered Upadhi, because there's some kind of level or layer on top of our pure soul, maybe.
You have emotion for something. Are you sure that that something is worth of your emotion? That's the question. So that thing or that person or that situation or that anything, it is attractive to us because we think that it's real. We think that is worth of our emotion. This is called Upadhi. Upadhi is a result of Maya. What Maya means? Ma means not. A ya means this. Not this. Maya means that that thing is not real. It has a reality in this material world, but we are not matter, so it is not real for us. It is an unreal reality, just like the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam teaches us very clearly that even great Deva feel attracted, think that this world is real while it is not. This point is not the Mayavadi. The Mayavadi says that the world does not exist. We don't say that the world does not exist. We say that this world is alien to us. So it doesn't exist. It exists for those who think to be part of that world. But for those who are transcendentally situated, they understand that this world is something that does not pertain to us. So yes, Upadhi is one of the, I say, mechanism of Maya, who makes you think that this form, this personality, this phenomenon, this is real. Then we feel attracted or repulsed, correct? Say
Repulsed.
repulsed by it. Repulsion or attraction is one opposite of the other, but they are both the same thing. They're all part of the unreality of the world. Is that clear? Bhattinebi?
Yes, I answered my question because my question was like, so all preferences and all likes and dislikes are just imposed by Maya. They're not real.
No, they are not real. Why you like
Mm.
something I don't like?
Mm.
Because the liking power is not absolute. It is attractive because you find it attractive. I don't find attractive. So it's not attractive. It's your projection that makes you like one thing or dislike another thing. This is concept very much connect to the question the Lavanga Mataji that arrived, although invisible, some time ago, and we are going to answer now. So if there is any other clarification needed on the concept of Upadhi, so please tell me. Yes, Govinda.
Hare Krishna, Srila Guru Maharaj, and dear devotees, please accept my respectful obeisances. I'm going to Srila Prabhupada. I guess maybe as an extension to what Bhakti Nabi was saying is, but aren't our dislikes and our preferences and things, are they not kind of reflections for our spiritual dislikes or preferences? Yeah.
Everything that we have as values in our subtle body, because liking or disliking is part of our subtle body. We know what is a subtle body is made of mind, intelligence, and ego. Mind is the one who guides the senses. So the subtle senses are guided by the mind. And how the mind guides the senses depends from the sensorial experiences. If you touch the fire, you burn, your experience is negative. So the mind, the next time you come near to the fire, then tell to the mind that tells to the sense, no, the other time you got burned, so don't go near again. So this is how it works. All the experience, the sensorial experience gets stashed somewhere in the mind, not somewhere in the mind. And we know the mind accepts, rejects, and etc., etc. So how we control this? We control this by buddhi. Buddhi means intelligence. Mind and intelligence are not the same thing. Brain and intelligence is not the same thing. Intelligence is not stored in the in buddhi, in intelligence. So how do we control the mind? If the mind likes something, likes meat, but you are a devotee, you're not supposed to eat meat. But you like it. Of course, it is an absurd. Eating meat is not really the problem for the devotee, but just to make an example. So how do you control this urge? By intelligence. What it means intelligence? A philosophy. You study the philosophy by hearing from authorities and by studying the scriptures. Then your intelligence begins to be trained to think in the right way. At the beginning, you may make an effort to understand what is right or what is wrong. After some time, it just comes natural. You don't even think about. You know that you are not supposed to eat meat, you're not supposed to get intoxication, you're not supposed, etc., etc. So this is how we work. So we can control our senses through the mind, and the mind is controlled by intelligence, means philosophical understanding. All right? So that once your intelligence is nicely trained, then your capacity of identification get purified. This is called Ammameti, which means who am I? Is the capacity of the soul to determine who am I. Until we have a discovering by Maya, we think to be the body. When we get purified by intelligence and mind and senses, once it's the intelligence guides the mind the right way, the mind says to the senses, don't listen to this stupid music, listen to Krishna bhajan, and then everything becomes purified. And your capacity of identification becomes correct. Then you understand that you are not this body, you are not a man, you are not a woman, you are not American, you are not a European, you're nothing. This is just a temporary accident. Being born in a body is something very temporary, few years, and then you go who knows where. So that's why it's an accident. It's not real. You're not a woman. In a few years, you will be dead. So who knows what you will be. Then how we correct this? By purifying our capacity of identification. And once you become capable to understand who you are, then your life changes. Because if you are not American, why you should act as an American? If you think, you realize that you are a spirit soul, you start behaving as a spirit soul, then everything in your life changes. Because you don't identify as a man, as a woman, as a animal, but as a spirit soul. So, yeah, more or less. We could say more as always, but Is this answer to your question?
I mean, I think yes, but I guess there's just a level of it to like the where I guess it kind of makes me feel like the identity like that we have right now. Yeah, like that the identity that we have. Can you still hear me?
Well, it's very low. I am making an effort to understand what you
Okay.
say.
Okay. Is this better?
Now it's better, yes.
Oh, okay. So then I guess it just makes me think that like the
No, it's
identity
worse
that
as before.
then here.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, okay. So then makes me think that the identity that we have right now, that it almost seems like none of it is based on like our true identity. Is that kind of how to understand it? That
But
whatever.
everything existing in this world is a reflection of the spiritual world. It's just being transformed in something material, like our capacity to speak exists in this material world because in the spiritual world we speak. Our capacity of looking and considering things, if these things exist in the material world, is because in the spiritual world we have it. So we just had to eliminate the filter of Maya. And now you are speaking, thinking, acting as a man, as an American, etc., etc. Once you eliminate this filter of Maya, who tells you you are this material body, then you start speaking, thinking, and acting as a spiritual soul. And this is purifying. And very quickly you'll be liberated by this material world. You'll see everything the same. And then we are going to speak about the next question. Because it connects very much. Because right now we are conditioned by Maya. When we are not, what happened? How do we recognize? So let's go to answer the question that has been sent to me sometime. I would like to know more about what it means to be self-realized. What it means. Can one only be considered realized if he knows his eternal relationship with Krishna, or can be considered self-realized when he believes he is not his body? At what point one is considered self-realized? There are a very large number of verses. Bhagavad Gita is full of. So I choose one verse that answers, in my opinion, nicely about answer to this question. This is the verse, the Bhagavad Gita verse 5:20. A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant, nor laments upon obtaining something pleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who knows the science of God, is already situated in transcendence. So, when we have success, we think we are being successful, so we are happy. Now, this is completely wrong, because you didn't have success because you deserve it. This is karma from your previous actions. So as it came, it will go away. So you should not jump in happiness because you got something nice, because it's just a question of time, maybe minutes, hours, or days, but it will go away. And when you get something that is not pleasant, you should not lament, because that helps you more than the thing that made you happy. Because when you get something that makes you suffer, makes you cry, then you can think. When you are happy, you are crazy about happiness. But when you suffer, then you think. because you are not happy. You want a solution to the problems of your life. So, and self-intelligence means you don't need any more knowledge from others. Also, although you like to listen to sages and Shastra, but the understanding comes from inside you. You know, you can give yourself explanations. Who is not confused, uh, and who knows the science of God. A person who is self-realized is not attracted by things of this material world because they are not real, and does not pursue happiness in this material world, but accepts anything Krishna sends him. He's happy if things go well. He's happy if things do not go well. He's always interested about others' well-being. The self-realized soul is more interested in others than in self. This is called what we call the preachers. Why the preach? You know, this word not always is attractive because we think that the preacher, the crazy guy who does all kinds of. Preaching means helping, giving knowledge. That's preaching. Not making shows. Couple of times I laugh like a crazy, seeing on YouTube these preachers from churches, you know, American preachers, you know, and everyone is crazy going around. It's just unbelievable how people can think that thing is real. So the person who is in transcendence, he likes to help others. He likes to study philosophy, although he knows it. You should not make question only when you think that you don't know something. You should always make question, even if you think that you know the answer, because you never know what type of question you'll get. And also, it is tasteful by itself to hear an answer, even if you know it. So making question, tato Brahma Jigyasa, that's the first step in human life. So you should always make questions. There are no stupid questions, and there are no questions super useless because you already know. No? This is not how a person who is in transcendence think. And so sometimes we see persons who are that we think that is transcendental, no? And after some time it is revealed that it's not really transcendental. That happens in our movement, unfortunately. It happens many times. Or maybe not many, you know, compared to the devotees who have been staunch the whole of their life. I think it's a small percent. Anyway, we see that sometimes we think that the devotee is very advanced, and actually we find out that it's not. Because all the symptoms can be misunderstood. Only a pure devotee can recognize a pure devotee. So if you are not a pure devotee, you think to see all the symptoms of self-realization, and is not. So what to do? You know, then you should try, especially for those who, in this case, only Bhattinabi doesn't have a spiritual master, but everybody else have a spiritual master. So why you choose one person and not another? Why? If we are unable to determine who is pure devotee, and so why we choose one and not another one? There are obviously various various reasons where someone chooses one and not the other one. That means that something in the heart, but this is very mystical. In the heart tells you yes, he is your guru, or everything you see is very spiritual. Is not interested in eating meat and intoxication. Is not interested in running after women and all and gambling, all these things. But then, and of course, there is also the, how you say, a suggestion of senior devotees who tells you, yes, he is good. Of course, they can be wrong also. But at the end of the day, let's pray Krishna that our guru, our trustworthy devotee do not fall down. Okay, there is no way around. Mama Maya Duratyaya. Mama Maya, my Maya, Krishna's Maya. Duratyaya is very difficult. It's a constant war. So you don't criticize a soldier when he falls down in the battlefield. You thank him. Thank you that you tried. You have been a soldier. At the end, you fell down. But then you fell down. You don't criticize, oh, you're stupid. You have been killed. We don't say that. So we should always appreciate the devotees, even when they reveal themselves not really pure devotees. And what else about transcendence? Well, transcendence, for instance, he likes to always and only talk about Krishna. It's not transcendental someone who likes to talk about sports or cars or material thing, because you can cheat others for a certain period of time, but you cannot cheat them the whole life. So you should look for someone who always and only talks about Krishna, about philosophy, about the history, like this, It's just a question of time. If you don't like Krishna, you can cheat, but at the end you get tired of talking of something you don't really like. Okay, this is very important, the tongue. A pure devotee likes to talk about Krishna. All right, so Yamuna.
Thank you, Gurudev. I just wanted, in this topic of our identity, our spiritual identity, I just wanted to know where really the emotions fit in. Are emotions like a real reaction to unreal phenomenon? Or are they also something false that's not really a part of our identity?
Depends very much. If we, for instance, if we read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, you find a lot of emotions. People crying, people devotees crying and rolling on the ground, and all the. So emotions, we often criticize emotion, like sentimentalism, etc. But actually, we should be careful not to criticize the spiritual emotions. So your emotion is good or bad? Depends from who you are. The more you are advanced, the more your emotions are good. The less you are advanced, then your emotions they are obstacles. Especially in the woman realm. Women generally, not all, of course, no. In general, very emotional. Very difficult to see a man crying. You always cry. you often see women crying because it's the nature, material nature. So is crying always bad? No, if you are very advanced, you are crying for because you remember some wonderful Krishna's pastimes, and you start crying because of emotion, because you would like to be there, you would like to participate. Otherwise, you should control them. If you are not very advanced, you should control them and be how Srila Prabhupada always was. I've been with Srila Prabhupada, unfortunately, only 7 days, and I look at him, like staring at him, to try to understand his mind. And I saw his strength of mind, how he was obviously very empathic, and he always preached, he's always, but at the same time, he's always very serious. He won't go in ecstasy because, okay, I am the guru. So if I start crying and doing crazy things, you think that this is transcendental. He won't. He never did. I always saw him very serious, but not serious in a way that makes you uncomfortable to be with him. He was serious because spiritual life has to be conducted with discipline, mental discipline, intellectual discipline. That I understood from my spiritual master. And not like some devotees say, no, we should, the Goswami, Vrindavan Goswami, they cried, they do this. Our Guru Maharaj never cried of Krishna. He was always, and I looked at him also without him knowing that I was looking, that we were looking. So in the privacy, it could have been different, but no, it was always the same. Very serious, but controlled, but at the same time, you could see that he was happy. It was not a serious night because he was frustrated. Sometimes we become serious because we are unhappy. But no, he was not unhappy. He was very happy. So, yes, control your emotions. And also at the end, if you start to get emotion because you are so advanced that you have natural emotion coming from your heart, you should hide them. You should not show them. Just enjoy your spiritual emotion within your heart. Govinda will leave us in a few minutes. Bad for you because I'm going. Okay, Lavanga says he cannot show her face. Lavanga, thank you. And Govinda, goodbye. I wanted to talk to you and Govinda and Yamuna after. You cannot.
Not today, Guru Maharaj.
Not today,
Sorry.
okay. Another day. Okay. It's okay. All right. So what do we do at this point?
Well,
Next
I did.
question.
Huh?
Next
We have
question.
the
You said you have
question.
4.
Yeah, we have Buddha.
Oh,
Yes, this topic I really want answered because I've been getting it misquoted recently. A lot of people think when they hear about the Buddha incarnation that it's like the Buddhist Buddha, and that's also confusing because I guess there's like a lot of Buddhas, so I'm so confused. Maybe you could, yeah, just totally answer it. I know it talks about it somewhere in the Bhagavatam, but yeah, anyway, please help.
Yes. The word Buddha is a generic word. It's not a person who is Buddha, named Buddha. A person can be called Buddha, but actually it's like saying Guru or saying Prabhu or saying Mataji. It's a title. The word Buddha comes from the Sanskrit Bud, which means to know. To know. Buddha is the one that who knows. And now I'm going to tell the story or short because it's a very long story. I'm going to resume the story of the Buddha, not our Buddha, the Buddha that we know, because they are totally different. If you take the Srimad Bhagavatam, you see that the two Buddhas are not the same person. His mother, his father, his place of birth, that's completely different. So the Buddha that is a Vishnu avatara, the Vishnu avatara, was born 3,000 years before our the Siddhartha, let's call it Siddhartha Buddha, because his name was Siddhartha. And this Vishnu avatara took birth in Gaya, not in Nepal, like our Siddhartha Buddha, Gaya. So where the Siddhartha Buddha went to meditate, just like I came to Vrindavan, and the Siddhartha Buddha went to Gaya because it was the place of birth of the Buddha. So there is a parampara of Buddha, and everybody is called, and every one of them are called Buddha. Then the Siddhartha Buddha just linked to this parampara, and then it was called Buddha, just like the Shankaracharya. The Shankaracharya, all of the gurus of Shankara Sampradaya are called Shankaracharya, all of them. Just like the Christians, they are called Christians. Why? Because they are descendant of Christ. So Buddha, the original Buddha, this is the story I'm going to tell you. If you give me one moment as I open. I had to answer also to Govinda the relationship with the spiritual master disciple, but you go. Too bad for you. Next time.
My misfortune.
I don't know. It's okay. All right. So, at the beginning of Kali Yuga, there were, according to the Puranas, there were an invasion of demons in this world. And what the demons they do, they don't necessarily kill everybody, like our demons who make wars that kills thousands of people. These are demons. They are really rakshasas. Like in Europe, we had Hitler, and now you have, all the presidents of those countries who just don't care who dies or who lives. They just, for a philosophical reason, they are ready to kill tens of thousands of people. But tens of thousands of people are so stupid that they go. So Hare Krishna, what can we do? So the story is about 24 pages long. I'm not going to tell all of them. So the Vishnu came down and saw that these demons, they were meditating, to find the power to defeat the devas. And this Vishnu Avatara was so attractive that he started to speak, and everybody started to listen to him. Then, and since they were demons, they did not pay, they don't give importance to the Vedas. Then this Vishnu Avatara said, you don't listen to the Vedas. You listen only to me. Okay? And I will tell you the knowledge of how to get strength in spiritual advancement. Then, while he was talking and teaching, he was regularly saying Buddhyadvam, that in Sanskrit means no, means try to understand. Just like Srila Prabhupada told us, try to understand, try to understand, try to understand. And Buddha was saying Buddhyadvam, And everybody, the disciple, answer, Buddhyate. Buddhyate means yes, we understood. And this is how they became known as Buddha. The title Buddha came to be used after the Vishnu Avatar started to speak in a way where the word Buddha, which means understanding, was used. And then this Vishnu Avatar, since they were demons, they would not accept the Vedas, he said, okay, don't follow the Vedas, but stop sacrifice of animals, at least. So, but the sacrifice of animal sacrifices was something Vedic. But what is the difference? That if a demon do an animal sacrifice, that is unholy. While if a qualified Brahmana does an animal sacrifice, that is good. The animal will immediately get liberation, and many of them would come back to life, etc., etc. So, so since the Daitya or the demons didn't want to accept the Vedas, then they became Buddhas, and they accepted that Vishnu avatar. Then the Buddha, as always, left a disciple, and the Buddha Siddhartha, then it is said, we don't know if it's true or not, to be one of the descendants of the original Buddha Vishnu avatar. So if you want, I will send you all the 24 pages from the Vishnu Purana, and you can read it. It takes 24 pages. I can send it to you. It's in English. And the next time you have a video conference, you can read them, the pages, and know the whole story. The resume is that the Vishnu Avatar came and confused the demons in accepting his teachings, and they become Buddhas. Buddhas means disciple of Buddha or Buddhist. The Buddha, just a few words about the modern Buddhism. Modern Buddhism teaches one very important philosophical point, which in our Sanskrit language is called Shunyavada. Shunyavada means nothing exists. I do not exist. You do not exist. Everything is void. Nirvana. Nirvana means nothing. The Mayavadi says that there is one light at the end, one energy. The Buddhists, they say there is nothing. It's all a big illusion. Of course, we can discuss philosophically, but it takes a lot of time. I'm afraid that you get a little tired. But surely Buddhism and Mayavada, they are very dangerous philosophies. And our Acharya wrote books and books and books to defeat it. And they were very successful, I can guarantee you. Okay, so that's it about the Buddha. If you have any question on the Buddha, will answer.
Hare Krishna, I have one question.
Yes, Lavanga Mataji, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I just wish I could turn my camera on, but are you able to hear me okay?
Hare Krishna.
Okay. My question is, so Buddhists are basically like the original atheist because they believe there's nothing at the end.
Oh, well, not. Well, atheism means that there is no God. Buddhists, they do not say that there is no God. Buddhists say there is nothing. Even the Buddha Siddhartha never said that there was no God. He didn't talk about God. It was like it was something not important. because there is a God or there is no God, it's all an illusion. So I don't know if strictly philosophical point of view, we can say that Buddhists are atheists. The real atheists are those who say God does not exist. That's the atheist.
Thank you. I understand.
There is a difference, you know. It's not so much different, but there is a difference. Those who think that God does not exist is one thing. Those who say that nothing exists, they are very different, actually. Okay, Yamuna?
Yes, Gurudev, I want to be sure that I understand because I'm a little preoccupied with the subject of emotions because, I know many people with emotional problems. Would a Buddhist say that the emotions don't exist, but we as Hare Krishnas accept our emotions, but use them in our spiritual life only? Could you elaborate on that?
Emotions are part of our life. The spirit soul, the pure personality that we are, have emotion, is full of emotions. They love, they hate, they like this, they don't like that. In the spiritual world, it's not a world where everyone is a robot and everybody. No, it's full of emotions. There are people who do not like Krishna playing flute and they like Krishna lifting the Govardhan. There are people who do not like Krishna lifting Govardhan. He likes Krishna taking milk from the mother. There is, and then you have husband, you have wife, you have children, and then you love them, and it's a very lively world. Okay, and we understand this from the scriptures. So what happens if your pure transcendental personality comes in this material world, and then because of female nature or because of your life, because of it's not just females, it's just if your life you had one suffering after another one, obviously you become more sensitive, obviously. It's not only because you are a woman. But um, uh, the point is that this emotion comes from the spiritual world. But you have to control them. You cannot leave them be because they are not from the soul. From the soul comes the seed of emotions, not the emotions. The seed of emotion. The same seed gives, how you say, gives rise to spiritual emotions or to the material emotions. You have to control the material emotions unless you are liberated. So emotion makes you suffer, generally. Sometimes you are happy, so you are emotional because you are happy. But generally, emotion comes when somebody talks to you bad or when you lose someone you love and all these things. So do you like to suffer? I don't think so. So how not to suffer? To eliminate the cause of all suffering? That's impossible. Because material life means it just there is something bad behind the next corner. Maybe something good also, but you know. So you had to know that you are going to suffer. Again, do you want to suffer? No. Then you have to control your mind, and that's yoga. Yoga means controlling the mind.
Okay, that's much clearer now. Thank you.
So what do? We have the last question that Govinda made. Govinda is not here. What do we do? But in Abby, what do we do? Do we answer and listen to the class after, or we wait the next?
I think we should wait till he's here because I feel like he asks a lot of follow-up questions. He asks good follow-up questions. So
Okay.
yeah,
All
I
right.
don't know.
Then next time I will. I'm very happy to be back talking to the devotees about Krishna. Before I was doing it every week, now every 2 weeks. So please come, because if you don't come, then I will stop again. You know, of course, there are a lot of people who listen to the class after. There are hundreds. Of course, they don't listen to hold the class. Most of them, they stay a few minutes and they say, "Oh, I like this guy. I don't," or "I don't like this guy." They just turn off. But still, it's a document that it is there. To the few people who really want to listen, they had the opportunity. They will be there forever. All right. So then, if you have any follow-up question, I'm here. Otherwise, we go to our separate business. Okay, then since we have 5 minutes, I will tell you a story. You like me to tell you a story?
Yes.
Yes, please.
This story is called Punar Musiko Bhava. Who knows the story? Lavanga, you know the story. Lavanga Mataji. Oh, no, okay. Anyway, Puna means again. Mushika means right. Bhava, to be. So there was one rat who was chased by a cat. And then he went to take shelter of this yogi and said, "Please, great yogi, help me. This rat is going to kill me." And the yogi said, "Okay, then you become, by my power, you become a cat." And he was very happy because now he was as big as nobody was chasing him. But there was a dog. A dog started to chase him. And then the cat went again to the yogi saying, "Oh, but now I have this cat, this dog chasing me. Please make me a dog." And the yogi said, "Okay, be a dog." He becomes a big dog. So after some time, I was very happy, but at the same time, one day he met a tiger. And a tiger was going to kill him. And the dog went again to the yogi and said, "Please, great yogi, make me a tiger." He said, "Okay, you become a tiger." And then when he became a tiger, he started looking at the yogi and he wanted to eat him. And he attacked him. And the yogi said, "Puna Mushiko Bhava, go back to being a rat." And he became a rat again. So this story, this nice story, Prabhupada says this story, tells you a lot of philosophical points. First of all, in this material world, there is no form that will make you happy. Whether you are a rat or you are a dog, you are whatever you are, there is always something or someone who will threaten you. There is no way around. Okay. And second, Srila Prabhupada used it very much to preach about the guru, the spiritual master. When you go to the spiritual master, you get the knowledge, and after some time, you started disrespecting the spiritual master because now you know. And then, by the action of Maya, you will forget everything. You'll be again a rat. You'll be you'll do nothing with your knowledge, and you will forget about your knowledge. So this story is called Punar Musiko Bhava, Mushika. a rat. Okay.
Oh, actually, I remember that story. I just didn't know the name of it.
Yeah. Musika. Okay, so I will, to finish, unless you have a question, I want to read some verses that I collected about eternity. I will, I collected 13, but let's just read a few of them. Never there was a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. We are eternal. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes in another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. A sober person, be sober, not emotional, sober person can control himself. But anyway, the soul may change the body, but the soul does not change. Mata Gilavanga?
Yes, I just wanted to say thank you for reading that verse, but also I didn't get to mention earlier, but I appreciate your point about asking question even if you think you know the answer. Because when I asked you my question about what does it mean to be self-realized, at first I was actually afraid to ask you because I thought maybe you would think, oh, how does she not know the answer to this question? But it's just that a lot of questions are answered from different angles of vision. And sometimes, even if I think I know how to answer, I like to ask other people because they might have a better way of explaining. Yeah.
This is very dangerous in spiritual life to think, I already know. Because you never know how that person, that devotee will answer you. Because we are persons, we are different one from the other. I never listen to devotees giving exactly the same class, answering to exactly the same question in exactly the same way. We have our sensibilities, our realization, our thoughts, so, and biggest mistake, no, I know the answer. I already asked Ekis Maharaj, he already answered me. Well, but first of all, if we don't make question, then we don't do Krishna Katha, because Krishna Katha is based on questions and answers. Okay? And to finish, I have 13, but I'm only going to read this last one. I like it a lot. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. This is wonderful. It explains you everything, that because here it says, of the non-existent, there is no endurance. But you can also turn the phrase and say, whatever is non-endurant is non-existing. Means it's Maya. And what there is no Maya, the second part of the verse, where it says, I turn it around. There is no change. It always remains the same. Because it is spiritual. The verse says, eternal, there is no change. But whenever you see no change, that means that is the soul. The soul doesn't change. It's always the same. Everything that it changes, entonces therefore it's not enduring, that is false. It's material. False means today it existed, tomorrow won't. So does not exist anymore. It wasn't existing even before. If you had intelligence, you would have understood that it was non-existent. It's easier when everything is gone to understand that it was an illusion. But if you are intelligent, don't waste your life thinking this is existent. Well, because it will go. So it was not existent, it will not be existent. This is the Bhagavad Gita is very clear on this point. All right. So if there is no other question, we finish here.
I just I thought of something
Yes.
while you were answering my question and all these questions. Because I've been reading chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita recently, talking about the jiva and the super soul and how the super soul is within and also without as a spiritual master. And you also mentioned in your answer to my question that one has to be a pure devotee to know a pure devotee. So if by chance a disciple accepts a guru that later has some difficulty struggling in spiritual life, since Krishna is the super soul and the spiritual master is the external representation of the super soul, if they have some struggle and they go down, can Krishna just send another representative to help guide that disciple?
These questions are the type of questions I would like never to receive. Because the phrase, a guru that falls down, is a contradiction in terms.
Mm-hmm.
The guru cannot fall down. If he falls down, it's not a guru. So contradiction in terms. So I will never talk about because it is something so absurd that is not normal. A guru falls down, especially after, there is no explanation. There is no, what can you say? You know, in the past there were gurus. In Spanish we say, entre comillas, how you say that in English? How you say in English? Quote unquote.
Quote unquote, yeah.
Quote unquote, who are very young. You cannot understand it, but still you can understand it's young. But when someone, I cannot talk about that. It's so stupid. So stupid that doesn't even deserve words. This is how I take it. So when it happens, just take shelter of Krishna and Srila Prabhupada and you will pay a heavy karma because destroying the faith of so many nice, sincere devotees, you're going to pay. Of course, Krishna can do whatever he wants, you know. Yeah. It's not that I'm not telling Krishna send him to hell, but from the point of view of pure logic, you know, there are people worshipped you as a guru. You know, guru means the representative of God. There is nothing higher than that. Nothing. After that, there is God. So people accept you and worship you and put your picture on the altar and calls your names, good names, and all these things. And then how to explain that? So take shelter, those people who have been hurt by this stupid, because I'm sorry, you know, I got to say it, this stupid man, plural, unfortunately. Just, take shelter. Krishna is real. We are not preaching about some poetry. Krishna and Radha, the spiritual world. It's real. Everything real. Krishna exists. Radharani exists. Goloka Vrindavan, everything is real. So take shelter in Krishna, take shelter in other devotees who are more serious. And of course, you'll never be able, when I say you, I'm not saying you, I say in general, you devotees who have been hurt, of course, you'll never be able to trust anybody else. That's obvious. The mother of my son got the 2 gurus fell down, 2. And when the second happened, she said, I'm never going to take a third. This is a joke. So guru cannot fall down. If you are a guru, you want to give initiation, etc., you have to agree to, if you have desire, then you have only one solution, the wall. Just boom. Like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was saying, when you wake up in the morning, take your shoes and start to beat your mind. That's all. But you cannot fall down. Just beat with your head the wall. Do everything. I could say something that I should not say in front of ladies or anyone for that matter, but really do anything possible, but you are not allowed to fall down. So just believe that Krishna exists. And then, he was not bona fide. It was not possible to recognize it because if you were able to recognize the guru, you are a guru. So, yeah, that's all I can say.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that really.
And pray for me.
Always.
Because if something happened to me, I will break my head. I will not just bump my head. I will break it in 1,000 pieces. All right, then I think we can stop here. And Yamuna, I would like to talk to you. And Lavanga, if you want to say something personal, but not private, if you want to stay, I actually would like to hear if you have time.
Okay, I can stay for a few minutes for sure.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now I will stop Facebook.
Thank you so much for the wonderful class. The answers to the questions were spectacular today. Very, very, very well understood by all of us. The best we can understand these words of wisdom. And we look forward to the next class. Thank you so much.
2 weeks.
Manonatha Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada jai.